And it's time for the Thursday edition of Cowboy Up with Tex. Normally we'd be jumping straight into our Thursday weekend roundup, but we have had a interesting day today. I think everybody that's listening has heard about the terrible events that have been going on today, where we had what is probably going to end up being a lone wolf attack, where a naturalized citizen from Kuwait attacked several different places today and ended up killing 4 Marines and wounding several other people in this town. This is a terrible tragedy, but we have to take a look at the long view. We cannot let these type of incidents make us fearful, to make us watch our shadows. That's why they do these things. That's why they call for these lone wolf style attacks. We all need to be vigilant and keep an eye out for things that might be a little different, a little odd. You know, report them to the proper people. If you see something that you consider odd, let them decide if it's just odd or if it's something to be worried about. I think that soldiers, especially who are going to be at a higher risk in incidents like this, need to be armed. Remember when they had the attacks in Texas with Major Assad? The reason he was able to hurt so many people was because our soldiers, who are trained in the use of weapons, were not allowed to be armed. And thus were at the mercy of the one person that did have arms, who had them illegally. Who knows if any of these soldiers, if any of these Marines had been allowed to be carrying a weapon, they could have defended themselves and saved not only their own lives, but possibly the lives of others. Sad situation all the way around. Another part of the sad situation is the fact that too many people from the Middle East are being brought into this country without being properly vetted. We don't know who these people are. We don't know what their motivations are. Is that what happened here? We don't know. But we do know that literally thousands of people from the Middle East, thousands of Muslims, are being brought into this country, while at the same time Christians in those countries who are being killed daily are not being brought over. So we need to keep these 4 soldiers' families in our thoughts and in our prayers today. But we cannot let them get to us. And in that vein, we will continue with Thursday edition of Weekend Roundup. There's no better way to show these people that we will not let them get to us than to continue our lives just as we would have had they not been here, just maybe with a little bit wider eye. Well, of course, one of the main things we start off with every week is nightfall. Excuse me. And this week we're going to be having a group called Selwyn Birchwood Band, which will be making its Chattanooga debut this Friday. And this is a kind of an interesting band. They're a blues band. In fact, they've won a number of awards for their blues. Even as far back as 2013, they won the Blues Foundation's International Blues Challenge. They've won the Albert King Guitarist of the Year Award. They've signed with the Chicago-based blues label, Alligator Records. And even as early as just here in 2015, the band won Best New Artist Album at the Blues Music Awards in Memphis. So if anybody's going to know blues, it's going to be them. So, of course, this will be this coming Friday at the Miller Plaza. Admission, as always, is free. Get there early so you can get a good seat where there's some shade, because it is hot there till most of the concert's actually over, as late as the sun's staying up these days. The opener at 7 o'clock will be Marlowe Drive, a Chattanooga-based, also blues-inflected Southern rock band led by Skip Sisto, and features Brandon Fitzsimmons, Jody Swigert, Chip Abels, and Brett Nolan. So, nice evening out. But speaking of the blues, Barking Legs Theater over on 1307 Dodds is going to be having veteran blues singer-songwriter Roy Book Binder. He'll be there Saturday the 18th at 8 p.m., $15 in advance, $18 at the door. If you want more information, just go to barkinglegs.org. They always have interesting music there. Barking Legs is a venue where you will find music that you just about cannot find anywhere else in this area. That's always a cool thing for them. Going from the blues to bluegrass, if you want to have a out-of-town time, just up the street, so to speak, in Winchester, they're going to be having the Winchester Bluegrass Festival. This is going to be at the Circle E Guest Ranch at number 50 Circle E Lane in Belvedere, which is actually just to the west of Winchester. They've had that's getting to be a real popular venue. They've had a number of concerts out there. But they're going to be having, among other groups, they're going to be having Ronnie Stoneman, who some people may remember that this was the female banjo picker on Hee Haw back in the 70s. Well, she's going to be one of the guests. They're also going to be having the Lonesome River Band and the Grascals there. Those are some major groups. This is going to be a heck of a concert. They're going to have local groups like Timber Fox, Fox Mountain Express, Williamson Branch, Rock Creek Bluegrass, and our very own Dismembered Tennesseans. Tickets are required for Friday and Saturday. They will be, let's see, I'm trying to see what time this starts at. Well, for more information on the times and amounts, you can go to circleeguestranch.com. Again, that's circleeguestranch.com. So tickets at the gate will range from $25 to $60, and they've got food and concessions available. Let's see. Another minor out-of-town drive, if you're interested in that sort of thing. They're going to be having a July Fest, a celebration of art and music in Mentone, Alabama, this coming weekend. The show takes place at the Brow. Okay, I don't know what that was for.
You're going up right now.
But already on?
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Arnie Dash
Goldsmith.
Chattanooga's
had it made. I'd probably run for president of the southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have had it made.
NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Toulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
News Talk 1240.
Well, we had a minor computer glitch there. Things have been a little different here at the station today because of all of the ongoing news with the shootings and whatnot. But to get back to what we were talking about, there again, just remind everybody, yes, we had a terrible event happen in town today. Yes, it's something we all need to be concerned about and keep in our minds, but we cannot let it cause severe disruption to our lives, because that way these people win. So anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, the July Fest in Mentone, it will be taking place both Saturday and Sunday at Brow Park in Mentone, Alabama. Admission is free. Can't have better fun than free. It will take place from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday. All times are central. Well, anyway, back here at home, over at Thunder Creek off of Lee Highway over by McKay's Books, they're going to be having the Two Broke for Sturgis bike rally. And I assume most people that are going to a bike rally at Thunder Creek are going to know where Thunder Creek is. They're going to be having local rock bands Marlowe Drive and Payne's Chapel. Will be entertaining at 7 and at 8:30 on Saturday evening, July 18th. So Saturday's activities will also include a bikini contest, micro wrestling, and other workshops that will be held throughout the day, and activities will be from 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. Admission is free. So let's see. Meanwhile, one of our, it's not really a new venue, but they recently moved, so they're kind of a new venue, the Camp House, which has moved from right outside of downtown to over to 149 East ML King Boulevard. They will be having the Funk and R&B Dynamo group. The Main Squeeze will be performing Saturday night, July 18th at 9 p.m. at the Camp House. Well, anyway, our computers are still acting up.
You give us 12 minutes.
Go.
Okay, that's better. Sometimes you just got to punch the right button, apparently. And of course, one of the, we're right at, I don't know what's going on. Everything on our switchboard is acting up. It's kind of a follow through from the day's events, so I will keep going as long as they let me. The Scopes Trial Festival will be this weekend in Dayton for the second year in this year. For the second year, the Cumberland County Playhouse and the Dayton Scopes Festival are partnering to produce Front Page News, a dynamic recreation of the historic trial proceedings with the historic monkey trials, Scopes Monkey Trials. And this will be for the next 2 weekends, both this weekend and next weekend. What is new is that they're having a play called Front Page News, a dramatic recreation of the historic trial proceedings. The play is presented in the actual courtroom in Ray County, where William Jennings Bryan and Clarence Darrow clashed over whether Tennessee schools would teach evolution or biblical creation in 1925. This is a historical recreation of the events at the time.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Two of them were attacked, plus you had law enforcement was attacked, and you have 4 dead Marines. So that is the seriousness of it. Not, the motives will come out. We'll know what happened, but on its face, it's a serious matter.
There we're looking at pictures from the Armed Forces Recruiting Office. That was all shot up today. That was the first scene of the shooting. No one was injured there. And then the shooter went on to Nicola Highway, where he killed 4 Marines at the Naval Reserve Office.
And as we've mentioned earlier, as easy as it is to jump to conclusions and make assumptions, the man is dead now, and there's no way to ascertain from him directly what his motivations were. So right now, no one can say necessarily that his religious affiliation or his ethnic background or whatever may have played a part in this. And the fact that he did attack military institutions, I mean, this kind of thing has happened before. And again, I'm not saying it happened today, but it's happened before, where someone who was rejected for military service or for some other reason, sometimes they tend to seek revenge. We're all speculating.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Again, the investigation will determine the motives here. A dossier of this man's life going all the way back will develop on this, and particularly focus probably on the more recent years. There's, probably not anything that will not turn up about this man's life.
Good point.
Well, yeah, and the fact that he had been living here for so long, and so many people in the community knew him, and he was a student, high school and college as well.
And as recently as 10 years ago, we didn't have that social media trail. Now we do. And I'm sure that will be investigated thoroughly as well. Police Chief Steve Parks. And right now we're going back to Lee Highway, which was the scene of the first barrage of shots today, the Army Reserve Center over there. And Josh has been seeing quite a few people out there today who've been coming to pay their respects.
David, a lot of people have been coming. Just look right over there over my shoulder. You can see the American flag right there. You can see flowers. You can see posters with people saying we want to stay strong. I talked to a guy who's with the Marines, and he told me that they're going to get through this. They're going to get through this horrible tragedy. Look right over there. You can see that man over there holding an American flag. I talked to him off camera. He told me that it's sad what happened here, but you know what? He's going to be praying. He's telling everyone to pray. Now, around 10:40 this morning, eyewitnesses tell Channel 3 that they were going over here to the salon, and when they were going into the salon, this man pulled out a gun and he started firing shots. I walked over there, and they're asking media to stay behind this crime scene tape, but you can see the bullet holes in the doors of the Armed Forces Career Center. Such a terrible situation out here. A lot of families, again, have been coming out here to pay their respects. The FBI currently on scene, and they're doing their investigation. Live on Lee Highway, Josh Roden, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank you. And another way people are paying their respects this evening or just doing what they can to help us all